What you see on the screen is a career autopsy. In April 2026, Meta deployed that software to every employee's laptop in the US. They called it the Model Capability Initiative. 6 weeks later, they fired 14,000 people. The same week that Mark Zuckerberg reported $26.8 billion in net income. The company wasn't struggling. It was performing a harvest. Everyone has the same mental model of AI displacement. AI gets smarter, your company finds a cheaper option, eventually you get a performance review that feels kind of off, and then you get the sad email. Well, that is a comforting light because it suggests that you'll have time to see the AI catching up to you. But the reality is much, much colder. Meta didn't wait for AI to become smart enough to replace their engineers. They started the moment they turned their engineers into the training data for a clone. And this week, Sundar Pichai stood on stage at Google AI conference and handed over to every CEO on earth the economic argument to build that same pipeline. In this video, I'll share 3 things with you. What Meta's MCI actually collected, and why the 6-week gap between the capture and the cut is the only timeline that actually matters. What Google actually launched at I/O conference, and why these aren't tools for you to use, but systems designed to replace your manual labor. I'm going to show you the exact 4-tab setup you can use to turn a 3-day project into a 2-hour review. On May 20, Meta employees were told to work from home ahead of the notifications. By end of the day, 8,000 people were laid off and 6,000 open roles were canceled. 14,000 positions all gone. In the same week, Meta reported the most profitable quarter in the company's history. $56.31 billion in revenue, $26.8 billion in net income, up 33% year over year. The company was not struggling. The company was not contracting. Meta was making more money than it had ever made before. They still cut 10% of the workforce anyway. Most coverage framed this as AI-driven restructure. That framing is wrong. It's in what happened before the layoff. Meta needed something from the laid off employees, not their code, not their documentation, not their feedback. Their behavior. In April 2026, 6 weeks before the May 20th firings, Meta deployed software on US employees' laptops. They called it the Model Capability Initiative, or MCI, which is a surveillance program that runs in the background of your work computer, and then it records how you use your computer, how you work. Keystrokes, mouse movements, click locations, screenshots taken at interval throughout your workday. Meta had disclosed that the data would not be used for individual performance reviews. Yeah, sure. It was to train AI models replicate how employees perform digital tasks. Workflow sequence of senior engineers moving throughout their day, working on a complex code base. All of it fed into a model to do what those employees did. Now look at this sequence and how a role is performed after you have eliminated the role. You need people at their desks working manually, generating the behavioral data while they still believe they have a job. So who benefits from this? Median employee pay at Meta fell from $417,000 in 2024 to $382,000 in 2025. The stock portion of their salary also fell 5% in February 2026 and a 10% cut the year before. Meanwhile, Zuckerberg is personally recruiting AI researchers for Meta Superintelligence program. Their package and salary was reported to be $100 million. 14,000 employees were laid off to save $7 to $8 billion, and those savings fund Meta's $125 to $145 billion capital expenditure plan for 2026, nearly double what they spent last year. All of it going into AI infra, GPUs, data centers. At the end of this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact 4-session parallel workflow that Google just announced as a platform feature, the one your CEO will be sold before Q3. You can run it right now on your next PR this week for free. But first, you need to understand what Google actually said, because what Meta did in private, Google actually announced it in public in their I/O conference. Every year, Google runs Google I/O, which is marketed as a developer conference to showcase new tools. That is not what it is. Google AI is a procurement event, and the real audience is not the devs. It is actually every CTO, CFO, CEO who watches the replay and takes a slide to their next budget meeting. This week at I/O, Google made this statement from the main stage. Multi-day engineering efforts are collapsing into hours, if not minutes. That sentence is not a feature announcement. It's a headcount justification. What Google actually launched is what's called Antigravity 2.0, which is Google's agent-first development platform, a control system for deploying teams of AI agents to do engineering work autonomously, the same way a senior engineer would orchestrate a team. Here's an example that Google shared in their I/O keynote.
So using the new Antigravity and Gemini 3.5 Flash, we asked our agent to take on what we consider to be a highly complex and impressive task: build a working operating system from scratch. We were surprised by what we found. Asynchronously, Antigravity broke down the challenge into a cohesive plan, tackled tasks via parallel subagents, generated, executed, and iterated over its very own tests. Over 12 hours, 93 subagents working in parallel made over 15,000 model requests and processed 2.6 billion tokens to take an initially empty project to the core of a functioning operating system.
They also launched Code Mender. Take a listen.
Tools like our code security agent, Code Mender, which automatically finds and fixes critical software vulnerabilities. Today, we're inviting a select group of experts to test the new Code Mender API, and we'll be launching it more broadly soon.
Security engineering is one of the most specialized, most defended roles in any tech organization. Now has a dedicated platform automating its core function. Multi-day efforts to hours, autonomous agent teams, automated security patching. This is the pitch that your CEO will see before Q3. 2 things for you to do right now. First, Google just told your CEO that multi-day engineering efforts now takes hours. You don't need actually Antigravity 2.0 to run that. You can run it today in Claude. Open 4 browser tab sessions simultaneously. Session 1. The reviewer. Paste your code-based context first, your Slack, your team's conversations, your current sprint constraints. Then paste the PR diff, prompted as, you are a senior code reviewer. Review the diff for logic errors, edge cases, and convention violations. Output a numbered list of issues with severity levels, file and line numbers, and a suggested fix. Nothing else. Session 2, the tester. Same context, same diff, prompted as, you are a senior test engineer. Write comprehensive unit tests for this code. Cover happy path, edge cases, error states, and boundary conditions. Output, ready to run test code only. No explanation. Session 3, the documenter. Same context, same diff, prompted as, you are a senior technical writer embedded in an engineering team. Write inline comments for non-obvious logic in this diff, and a 1-paragraph PR description that a non-technical stakeholders can read. And lastly, a 1-line changelog entry, nothing else. Session 4, the security auditor. Same context, same diff, prompted as, you are a senior security engineer. Flag any injection vulnerabilities, authentication gaps, data exposure risks, or dependency concerns in this diff. Name the specific attack vector for each finding, not just the category. If nothing is found, say so and stop. Run all these 4 sessions simultaneously. Step away, get a cup of coffee, and come back and synthesize the results. What used to be a full day work is now 90 days. That is what multi-day to hours looks like in practice. Happy clouding. Second thing you can try. Meta said MCI data would not be used for performance reviews. Go ahead and pull your employment agreement. Search for 4 phrases: AI, machine learning, training data, and derived work. If those clauses exist and you have not read them, you do not know what you have already signed away. For Meta, MCI was actually disclosed, buried in the IT policies in their employee agreement contracts. The companies compressing engineering timelines are not slowing down. If you want to stay ahead of these internal corporate moves, you'll need the data that I personally am dropping every week. So if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. It's the only way to make sure the algorithm keeps you in the loop while your company is trying to take you out of it. And as a thank you for making it this far in my video and for subscribing, here's my dog Caden. No keystroke monitoring, no behavioral capture, no model capability initiative, just a dog. And to get the full picture on how these AI shifts are changing the way we work, click on the video on the end screen, and let's keep the conversation going.